Hello, people. I'm just waiting for people to join the podcast. Hello.
Hello. Put your camera on.
How you doing? We're live now anyway, so
okay.
We'll get straight into it.
And look who's here.
Hello, Spencer.
What's going on?
You okay? Right, let's kick things off then.
A lot of background noise.
This is Steve. Stevenson wins the WBC Eliminator against Yoshino, the Japanese guy.
Did you see it?
Did everybody watch this fight?
Yeah, I think it.
I think I saw it as well. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, great. All right, why don't you go first, Nathan?
So I didn't watch it, so I'm not going to talk about it. I didn't watch it, but I heard about the result. So I want to get your guys' views on this fight.
Well, Shakur dominated him. He showed great control of the ring, punching, and he's just going to develop into this great fighter if he's not already great already. What do you think, Spencer?
Yeah, I agree. And he's doing different things like he wants to stand in front of the guy, because early on he was deemed a runner, so to speak. So the last couple of fights, he's been trying to square up with the guy and show that I could stand right in front of you and you still won't be able to hit me.
Well,
I was just when I was waiting for Nathan to set up the thing. I was just looking at a Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney sparring session.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it looked like Shakur got the better of him, was getting the better of him from what I've seen, but Devin Haney was being able to hold his own. So if they ever fought in the ring, that would be interesting.
He's got to come up in weight. Devin's going to move up in weight, so we'll see if that ever transpires down the road. But it doesn't surprise me at all. In fact, I saw the same thing you saw.
Yeah, and they both young, so yeah, it might happen eventually down the road. Shakur might wind up being a welterweight when all said and done.
He's growing, definitely. He's growing into the weight for sure. So that's what we saw on that, Nathan. We saw a domination.
Yeah, I think for me, Shakur Stevenson, I watched his fight before this one. This was at 135 or 140? I forget. 130.
This is 135.
Yeah, 135.
It was a new weight. 135, which is lightweight, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see. I actually believe with the talent level he's got, he could go up to welterweight or even 154. The way he's kind of carrying on, I think it won't be too long before he gets a belt at this weight. Then he can move up to 140. His frame, he looks like a welterweight from looking at him, doesn't he? If you look at him properly,
he's growing. Sure.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, we were just saying that he probably will be at welterweight before long.
In about 2 years, 2 years.
He'll probably
he's already, the fact that he's so young and he's already won two different weight belts. It's amazing.
Yeah, he unified in 1 too, so that's a good thing.
We'll see what happens with Lomachenko, who wins that fight, that's the winner, or if Haney wins, moves up, or what. But I see him at 140 the next year.
What is the rush with Shakur Stevenson? I don't think we know he's already there. Take their time with him,
It's not a rush. It's it matters if he can still make the weight and not be totally drained. That's the bottom line. I don't think there's a rush. I think they're bringing him along really well. So whatever's going to happen down the road, we'll see what happens there. But right now, he's got the lightweight division to deal with, and that's a stacked division right now.
And I don't think the fight before this last one, he missed weight, so he was not intending on being at lightweight yet. But the last weight he couldn't. I mean, the last fight he couldn't make the weight. so
Right.
he moved up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, like that, it might be a situation with that as well. Like he might be a lightweight for 2 or 3 fights, and it might be hard for him to continue to trim down. Like Tom said, he's growing.
Yep. He's growing for sure. He's putting
He
muscle on.
needs to fight for the title in his next fight, in my opinion. Against
He needs to what?
Needs to fight for some sort of belt. If not, then move up to 140.
Well, if Devin Haney moves up, all the belts are going to be fractured. You know, they're going to be all split up. So he could fight for a title then. If Lomachenko beats,
Stevenson's better than Haney. I think Stevens is better. Can we talk about the
but
rest of the card?
Yeah.
Talk about the rest of the card. Jared Anderson absolutely annihilated Arias. I watched this whole fight. I was impressed.
Oh yeah. He's got a future in the heavyweight division, I believe.
yeah, that was a mismatch. That was a mismatch fight anyway. Arias was way undersized.
Right.
But the problem Arias is he picked easy opponents his whole career. He's basically just a padded record, effectively.
I mean, he fought a lot of local guys. You know, he's from New York, so
Yeah.
I mean, he fought in the
He
New York
padded that
circuit.
record over a 5-year period.
But
knew
he hasn't fought.
that.
He hasn't fought any of the top heavyweights because he's not a big guy. He ain't going to be able to compete with them bigger dudes.
Really. He's Bridgeweight.
Yeah.
He's heavyweight.
Yeah. I mean, he's heavy enough to be a heavyweight, but he's not tall enough and his dimensions aren't big enough to be dealing with these guys. I don't even know if he's 6 feet.
No, he's
Right.
not. What did he weigh? About 230 for the fight? 230?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he's like a husky guy, but he's not a tall guy and he don't have a long reach and he don't have power. So
If he was cruiserweight or Bridgerweight, he would have success. Cruiserweight.
he should try to compete in Bridgerweight. But he doesn't have power, so that would have been a tall task for him anyway. He wasn't stopping Jared Anderson with no punches or nothing. So
Yeah, he
The
wasn't.
problem with Anderson, it's hard to match him. Carry on.
Well, I was going to say, it's going to be harder and harder for him to get fights.
against meaningful top guys, but he could get those gatekeepers and build up his record and get his name out there, so people will be demanding him fight one of the bigger guys, the bigger names. Like if he fights, give me some gatekeepers.
Charles Martin.
He could fight Charles Martin. I don't know if Charles Martin could be considered a gatekeeper, but he could fight a Charles Martin. He could fight. I don't know. I'm at a loss. I was going to say those guys like Severn and all of them, but those guys are way past. Maybe Trevor Bryan. He could fight Trevor Bryan.
Jermaine Franklin would be a good fight.
Yeah, Franklin. He could fight. He ain't a gatekeeper, but maybe he could get a fight in against Junior Five.
Would be a perfect opponent for him. Then we can find out how good he really is.
Carlos Takam.
Right.
Yeah, these guys, he could fight those guys, and if he demolishes those guys, because the public will be demanding him fight, because we've seen those guys go the distance or at least rounds with some of the other bigger names.
Or a Chisora, people would just say, well, he wasn't ready. Then he would say he's been pushed too quickly. That's the problem.
Don't forget he has those other guys coming up behind him, the gold medalist from Ukraine, and he has Richard Torres too.
Yeah, he got to compete.
Fraser Clark as well in the UK. But he's better than Fraser Clark. Have you seen Fraser Clark fight? Yeah, I'm not that impressed.
No, I haven't.
He's a British bronze medalist. He's fit. But if you're going to look at someone who's coming through, then it's obviously Anderson, Torres, and the Polish guy.
Yeah. Gotta watch those guys. Though. I don't know. Don't have me chop up his name.
There was another fight.
Tom might know it better than me.
Which guy is that?
The heavyweight, the big guy, the medalist,
The Ukraine.
Golovich.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but he's a badass guy, man.
Yeah, Golovich, Golovich or something like that.
Yeah, something. I could find that out, but we can move on in the meantime.
No, there's another fight on this card that I want to bring up as well. Did we talk about Keyshawn Davis? Yeah, we did, didn't we?
We talked about him last
Anthony
week.
Yigit. Yeah, but he got a win. He got a win
Right.
this weekend.
And it was a good one.
Against a decent opponent.
Yep. He's knocking on the door.
Yeah, he calling out the big names. You know, he called out Frank Martin. Well, let me wait. I think his name was brought up, but he called out Frank Martin.
He did. Well, that's good.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
I haven't seen
But-
too much of Keyshawn Davis, to be honest. I've seen some highlights. I've never sat and watched any of his fights properly.
Well, he gonna be on all them top rank. It looked like he gonna be on the cards with Shakur, because he's been on like 2 or 3 cards with, I think, with Shakur Stevenson. They've been on the same card.
Okay. The next card was Sebastian Fundora fighting Brian Mendoza. This was WBC interim 154 title fight. And Mendez destroyed Fundora, I believe it, right? I didn't see this particular fight.
Well, he ain't destroy him. He caught him with a good punch.
Yeah.
Fundora was winning the fight.
He was, but it doesn't surprise me, and I'll tell you why. And we've talked about this before. He doesn't fight like a big man. He leans down to these guys. And
Yeah.
and he could easily keep him on the outside. He let this guy get too close, and he dropped his guard.
Yeah, and he yeah. Some people, like I was hearing it, some people were saying, he did a good thing by staying down and not trying to beat the count or anything and continue on. Because he realized like he was out of it. He realized he had lost the fight. He's gonna try to come back the next time and regroup.
Yeah.
Which, is sensible. But yeah, man, his train got derailed quickly, and Mendoza, man, 2 upsets in a row, back to back.
He's on a roll, he's born again.
Yeah, man, he's gonna be fighting Charlo soon.
Yeah.
Good luck to Mendoza,
Yeah, good luck to him. New champ. Oh, by the way, that
But
heavyweight.
Fundora, I don't know how Fundora even makes the limit, the weight, to be honest. It's like a super middleweight.
Yeah, he a thin guy.
Yeah, tall and slim and
He'll have
thin.
to move up to middleweight and put some bulk on,
Yeah. By the way, that name was Bakhdur Jalalov.
Jalalov, yeah.
Jalalov, yeah, I know Jalalov.
I know it started with a J.
Yeah.
The professional who won a gold medal who shouldn't have really been at the Olympics, yeah.
Well, we'll see him on the scene if these 2 guys, Torres and him.
There was another fight on this card. Yeah, there's a few other fights on this card that I want to talk about. I watched Sanchez against Daniel Marks. This was over in 1 round. This was a blitz.
Wow. Yeah.
I didn't even get a chance to see that.
Devin Alexander lost again. Why he's still boxing, God knows why. And Chris Arreola was on this card as well. He won in 1 round.
Well, good. I mean, I've been a fan of Arreola and Sanchez, and of course, they should have won. I mean, both of those guys.
They might fight each other next.
Areola's too old. Arreola needs to retire, really. He looked good in his last fight. He's done. He's done.
Well, Alexander needs to retire before he gets brain damage.
Sanchez is a guy who won't I don't think he'll ever see a title shot towards the end of his career. Nobody wants to fight a dangerous Cuban, do they? People try to avoid people.
No, he is a dangerous man.
He might get a WB. Well, they might not have it anymore after
Anthony
Daniel
Joshua would
Dubois.
never fight him. Let's put it that way. Anthony Joshua wouldn't go anywhere near Frank Sanchez.
Yeah. I mean, he might be able to fight for a vacant belt, depending on how he positions himself in one of organizations. I know he's high ranked in the WBC.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Brandon
is.
Lee. Brandon Lee won a fight as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll win a title, but he certainly has pop and he's getting better.
Who, Brandon Lee?
Yeah, I think they should before they throw him in for a title in that weight division, he needs more seasoning.
Yeah. Because I mean, that was a good fight, yo.
It was a good fight.
Definitely action packed, but yeah, he definitely, because he got to touch up his defense a little bit.
Definitely, yeah. He got clocked a few fights ago. I didn't think he did about 2 fights ago, but he did, which was good.
Yeah. I mean, he could take the punches, but he should definitely tighten up that defense.
Absolutely. Did you see it, Nathan?
No.
All right. Do you want to move on to this?
Yeah, Nate Diaz will be fighting Jake Paul.
Okay.
Oh.
Alrighty.
Okay, good. I hope nobody gets hurt.
Well, I don't know much about Nate Diaz's boxing history.
Well, he's tough. He was a tough competitor in MMA.
Let me have a look. Yeah, I think
MMA.
Let me look to see if he's boxed before. I think he might have boxed a few times. No, he hasn't. He's never boxed. Dear me.
No, I think he's just been UFC, which, you got to be good to get up to the UFC.
And he's an old man again. He's 37. So, dearie me. This is a bad fight. He's going to get destroyed.
Yeah, most likely he's going to get put to sleep.
Jake Paul probably doesn't want to lose again. He probably thought, well, I'll stick with the method of fighting old MMA fighters.
Guys that don't know how to box or don't box.
Pathetic.
Yeah, Nate has had his share of problems, but he's a very game guy.
Oh, yeah, he's tough. He's come to win his game. He's come to win. Yeah, he's not going to drop down. He's not retired or anything, is he, Nate Diaz? I don't think.
No, he was popped once in the UFC for marijuana, which started the whole debate as to look, that's not a performance-enhancing drug, right?
Yeah.
With him. But he's tough. I mean, you give him that. He could absorb the punishment, but I don't know if he could take a clean shot from
no, I mean, he's got a good – he's won a couple of world titles at UFC,
Yeah, but he's very shop-worn. Let me put it that way.
I mean, he did get beaten up by Conor McGregor some years ago.
Yo, this is a great marketing thing for Jake Paul, yo. Because, Nate Diaz, I mean, I don't follow the UFC, but I heard of him. But I heard of that name. So Nate Diaz being a somewhat popular name is going to draw the casual fans in. Jake Paul fighting Nate Diaz. Oh, let's tune that in. That's a great
Yeah.
The guys he could beat as a boxer ain't the boxers that he can beat. They're not going to draw in the crowd like Nate Diaz will.
No. But, I mean, he's got right. Also, in other news, Anthony Joshua, the rumor that he failed at a PEDS test.
Oh, that's a rumor. That there's no proof for that.
Yeah, I thought I just seen Vada saying that he didn't or something.
Yeah, I don't go with rumors until.
Well, that's your opinion. That's your opinion.
What do you?
Wait.
He usually says that when he disagrees. What do you?
I know he's saying, but that's what I'm saying. Wait, did he pop for drugs or not?
Well, look at him. Look at the guy. Come on.
Did he pop for drugs or not? Listen.
No.
There's people that are genetically gifted. They could do push-ups and look like they are bodybuilders.
Or never do push-ups and look like
that. And look like, right. They could just work.
Right. Joshua, when you were younger, you were skinny, right? Really, really skinny?
But he was he still had muscles. He's a big dude.
He's a lanky, skinny thing. like Daddy Longlegs, you know. Anyway, we'll move on before we get any lawsuits. Right.
Well, let me tell you how that rumor started. You know, he was having problems with Amir Khan, who was popped, right, with the 2-year suspension. And so in Saudi Arabia, they became chummy, you know, but there were allegations that he was sleeping with Amir Khan's wife by Amir.
I remember
And then
that.
they were hanging out. So people are thinking now maybe, you know, he was doing PEDs too. So that's how that shit started.
Okay, we'll move on. Before we get a lawsuit. Right. There's a card which is headlined by, I believe, we'll come to that in a minute. A card which has got Denzel Bentley on it, Joe Joyce on it. And it's,
Micaiah Myers on that too.
yeah. I think her opponent wasn't approved by the British Border Control or something. Her original opponent.
Oh, so Lucy Wildheart is the replacement.
Let me have a look. Quickly unbox it.
So Joyce on clean James clock.
Oh, well, that's a topic. That's a topic.
Let me
Wait.
look at this.
Wait, are we talking about it here, or are we going to talk about it
No,
when we go down?
We're talking about the whole card
I didn't-
thing. But the Zhang thing will be a separate thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What are we talking about?
Lucy Wildheart is a replacement opponent.
She's the replacement. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So do we know who it is?
Lucy Wildheart.
Somebody called Lucy
I-
Wildheart.
I've never seen her fight. I don't think I ever seen her fight.
Let's see what else. Moses Atuma, the British heavyweight, who is 2-0, will be fighting. Another journeyman again. Yeah. The rest of the card is pretty weak, to be honest. Not a good card. Denzel Bentley, I don't think he's that good. Right, we'll move on.
Pathetic copper box.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of this. Apparently, in Saudi Arabia, they've got a 4-man tournament lined up.
Yeah, that would be a good tournament. I mean, if they get Fury, Joshua, and Wilder in it.
Fury, Joshua Wilder, and Usyk.
I know.
It'll
So-
never happen.
If the money's right, it'll happen.
It'll
How
probably
much
happen,
money-
Not with Joshua.
Well, where did this?
Oh, wait. I don't know, but I think people might take $100 million, even if they're going to lose.
Yeah.
I guess they would, but it'd be a fool not to.
Yeah, I would just take 10,000 and get in the ring.
Anyway, it's a matter of opinion, really, isn't it? It's a matter of opinion.
But yeah, like I don't like when you get in figures like 100 million, 50 million,
You can't turn it
win or
down.
lose. Like I don't care if I lose, I got $50 million.
And wouldn't it be tax free as well?
I'm not sure how that works over there, but I believe he still got to declare his money when he comes back. He ain't got to pay it up initially.
We have something called super tax, which means you pay like 50% or something, or 40%.
I would say it depends on where you live and what the rules are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's how Pacquiao got in trouble. He was making money here, and supposedly you didn't pay his tax over there. And, it depends on what your country's rules are, where you reside.
He was a senator. He should have changed the tax code. Like I don't owe nothing no more.
But this seems like a possibility and not really being floated as a thing that could happen when I read this article. But it would be nice.
So they really should do this. it really should be like this. Instead of Usyk, because I think it was AJ versus Wilder, Usyk versus Fury, and then winners face off. I think it should be AJ versus Fury, Usyk versus Wilder, and then the winners face off.
AJ versus Fury, Fury versus Wilder versus Usyk. Wow. So I would pick Fury over AJ, and then Wilder over Usyk.
They will have the part 4 for the undisputed.
Wow, that would be crazy. Where did Nathan go?
I don't know. Wait, it's just he's left. What's the next thing?
Let's see. Hold on, let me get back to the list. So Joshua not fighting again till December. Okay. And that also had rumors about the PEDs.
That's the reason why he wasn't fighting until December. That kind of like helped spark the rumors.
That and talking with and getting friendly again with Amir Khan. So he wants us to keep talking. He'll be coming back on. But to me, it's rumors. You know, I mean, who knows what's going to happen, right?
Yeah. I mean, listen. In this day and age, I wouldn't be surprised if he was taking something, but I'm not going to accuse him just because people saying it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, that's how people's reputations get ruined with no evidence, right? So,
because in my there's like I'm on the fence on this because there's professionals that will always tell you, yo, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, because everybody tries to get a leg up, while they in the gym. So, but then there's people that like say that they don't do anything, and then you come find out they was like, oh, you was dirty too.
Yeah, really. The main thing is whether you're on that stuff or not, can you get in there and win? I mean, guys that are on sometimes lose terribly.
Yeah, it's not a miracle situation where as soon as you take it, you automatically turn into Superman or something, from Clark Kent to Superman.
You turn into Muscle Man is what happens.
And that's only if you work out. You got to work out in order to do that. You can't just take it and then automatically muscles grow on you like some cartoon. You actually got to work out. It helps you repair, repair your muscles and all of that so that they grow bigger. But you do have to break your muscles in order for them to start getting bigger.
Right. And Nathan,
let's move on. Have you talked about Joshua fighting in December yet?
Where you going there now?
Yeah.
Joshua's announced that he's not fighting again until December, which I think is a very dumb move.
You think he should fight sooner than that?
Yeah, I think he should fight in like August, or say, August time. Or, just fight an easy fight just to stay active and then have a big fight in December against what?
Wow.
That's I don't know. Because that's like old AJ every 4 months. Maybe he needs that to get that stuff back.
Yeah.
His mojo back or something.
But if he had another knockover fight or an easier fight, then it would get his confidence back.
He could fight Dylan White.
Or
get that easy win.
I think that would be acceptable. Seriously, I think he would.
This guy with Manuel Charles. I think you Manuel Charles manager or something.
Yeah.
He's getting a cut of his pay or something.
Oh my God.
Manuel Charles is my gay lover.
Yo,
Crazy.
Right.
yo.
I do believe that they're working on things, but Derek James, I don't think Joshua respects it. In the interview, the way he comes across, I don't think he respects it. I think he'll be changing trainers very soon.
Well, we'll see. December's a long way off. I mean, he could have a fight between that time. I mean, I don't know what his reasoning is, but whatever.
Okay, well,
Yeah, like does he need more time with Derek James in the camp, or is he going to go on a hunt again for another training? That's why he's going to wait until December.
I don't know. I have no idea. Did you want to move on to the Olympics here?
yeah. A collection of So basically, the IBA have been challenged by a new boxing entity in a bid to save Olympic status. A collection
What's
of
the new
boxing
boxing
leaders
entity?
from federations across the world have created a new not-for-profit international federation boxing, which aims to ensure that the boxing remains at the heart of the Olympic movement. So, someone explain this to me.
Well, the Olympics wanted to get rid of wrestling and boxing.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would do that. Those are the two oldest sports in the Olympics, especially wrestling. It's been there like since the beginning.
Greco-Roman.
Yeah, Greco-Roman wrestling.
Wrestling
From the Greek Olympics.
From the Greeks, for sure. So this whole thing about, making, I guess, the Olympics less violence, whatever. But there's always been, over the past, as far back as I could remember, there's always been a lot of controversy, especially in the 80s. Remember, Roy Jones lost and Emmanuel, what's his name? Holyfield was disqualified, and the Korean fighters' hands were getting raised while they were beat to a pulp in the Korean Olympics. And then, ends up being on PEDs. So it's had a lot of controversy. So I think that's one of the reasons why, a couple of the reasons why they want to get rid of it. And then remember when the Irish boxer who lost to Ryder got knocked out, he was giving the finger to the judges when he lost. So there's been a lot of that. And plus, the Olympic Committee is the most corrupt sports organization, boxing and no boxing.
Mm-hmm. They just, yeah.
And if you look at like the people that are on this new interim executive board here, they want it, they want boxing back in. So they're trying to make sure that, this is a feeding ground, proving ground for young fighters. And
a lot of guys, that's they big thing is going to the games.
And they say the highlight of their career is winning the gold medal, being
man.
So
you can't take that away from these guys, man. Dude, ain't going. We barely getting people in the gyms now wanting to pursue the sport. There's a lot of competition with other sports, especially for the bigger guys, the heavyweights. People forget it. They're going to be playing football or basketball if they can. But
that's to be expected. You're not getting your head bashed in all the time.
Well, in basketball anyway. So like they don't have like that goal to reach for. Like, man, that's going to discourage a lot of kids, man.
Absolutely. And we need the amateur program.
Yeah, that's how you get great professional fighters, and not guys that look like Jake Paul while he's fighting professionally.
Well, what'll happen, the United States will fall way behind, the Middle Eastern countries, the mid-Asian countries like Russia, all the states and whatnot, and then South American fighters.
You just said a bad word there.
Pardon me?
Russia. It's banned on the podcast, that word, Russia.
Right. Okay, I got it. But that's what's going to happen if they don't allow it in there.
Yeah.
That's not This is a
It
bad.
was, yeah, our amateur system was kind of like messed up anyway, and this really is not a good look for that.
Yeah. You want to move on, Nathan?
Yeah, what was well this Keyshawn Davis, we've already talked about him, so we can move on from that. So we'll go on to the next thing, which is the boxing descendants.
Oh God, I read about that.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I mean, I didn't even know Hagler's grandson even boxed. I didn't even know. Have you seen him box?
No. Have
That's
you?
exactly my point.
Nope, I ain't even know
Have
he
you
had a
seen-
grandson boxing.
Well,
Neither did I. What about Roberto Duran Jr.?
Did I see what? Did I know? I didn't see him, but did I know that he was fighting? I think I knew Roberto
There's another
Duran
son.
Jr. was
Two
fighting.
other sons
Yeah.
as well.
I think he did. He had like a 5-1 record or something. He had a
Duran.
Yeah, but what to make of this, Nathan, is very, very easy to make of this. It's the same thing that's happening with YouTubers fighting boxers, and now we have
Yeah.
generations of champions fighting each other. And
Out
that
of all of these people, the only one I look at and see who's really got any talent is Nico Ali Walsh. He's the only one to me that kind of stands out of all the sons, you know?
right.
Who
Well,
look
he's
like-
the only one that looked like he taking it serious enough.
Yeah. The only other one is Tim Tszyu, really, who's the only one who's kind of done well, you know, in the last recent years.
Well,
Diego-
Matthew Hatton is trying. He's
Campbell
trying the
Hatton.
best he can. Yeah.
He's going to get better. I watched him fight. I watched his last fight. He finished the guy with a body shot just like his dad. We
Right.
don't know how he's going to develop. But with Nico
Well-
Ali Walsh, we don't know how he's going to develop. But what
Well,
I've seen of him,
Floyd was the ultimate son that did better than the pops.
Nico Ali Walsh, I mean, Campbell Hatton probably could outperform his dad, but no grandson will ever outperform Muhammad Ali. It's not possible. Even if Nico
No.
Ali Walsh wins the world title and does well, people are always going to look at his grandfather. They're never going to look at him other. Do you agree?
Yeah, the only
He
one,
starts talking
the
about-
only one that could even have and she can't even really have one, but it's my girl. Is Layla? She's the only one that can have a conversation on the tone of, yeah, I could pop crap. I was the female heavyweight undisputed champion of the world.
The problem with her is she came along at the wrong time. She came
She
along
came
10,
way too
15
early.
years later. If she was around
Yeah.
now, boxing, she'd be
Yeah.
a megastar. You know, she just came
Yeah.
15 years too early. Does that make any
Yeah,
sense?
I mean, she made her little bit of money. She probably made more money than any of the girls making now then, because of her name.
How much was she
but-
making a fight in her prime?
I know that Ali Frazier fight made. I think they made like $1 million for that fight.
But what I'm
That was-
saying is she couldn't have more than, she might have about 10, 15 million. But I don't think she'd have any more than that. You know,
Yeah, like her name.
I just feel if she was
Recognition.
around today, she'd be a bigger star than what she is. When I think of women boxers, I don't think of her anymore. She's been gone that long, you know. Maybe she could come back and have a couple of exhibition fights, you know, against Chris
Nah,
Shields.
let her finish doing her cooking and exercise shows. She don't need to be in there getting her face beat up on.
She's got a
But
purr to
Nico
fight.
Ali Walsh looks like he's gonna have a good future in the sport. You know, I firmly
He got to
believe.
keep his chin tucked a little bit, but he looked like he want to take it serious. So kudos to him.
Well,
Even
he's
if he
throwing the
doesn't
punches
win
right.
Yeah,
Even if he doesn't win a world title, if he can get a decent record, you know, 30 wins, 5 losses, or whatever, or 10 losses, and he looks respectable, then people will get behind him. I'm behind him because of who he's related to, and I can see that he wants to take it seriously. You know, he's not here. He's not living off his grandfather's fame.
And he's
He
humble.
looks like
He's a humble guy.
Yeah, that's
he
why I like
ain't his granddad.
He ain't his granddad, but he's got that last name.
No,
Ali,
I
Ali,
mean,
Ali.
with Tom saying he's humble, I mean, like, he ain't his granddad. You know, Ali was trash
Ali
talking.
had the biggest mouth of any person that if he was on Twitter today, he'd be a billionaire if Ali was alive today.
Oh yeah. If Ali was alive and if he was doing what he was doing then, now, yeah,
Doing it now.
yeah,
But
he'd be a
all I will say is
polarizing
that
person.
if I could take two heavyweights from the past and bring them today, it would be Joe Lewis and Muhammad Ali, and possibly I'll grab Rocky Marciano, put them in the mix today at cruiserweight. You know, that would be amazing to see.
Well, Rocky might be a light heavyweight today.
Ali, did he weigh towards it? Right, let's move on.
I think Rocky Marciano would be a light heavyweight. They would try to shrink him down to light heavyweight.
He'd be like the level of a Batavia, but probably a heavier hitter. Joe Lewis would probably be a light heavyweight, and he'd destroy everyone.
No, they would be cruiserweights.
Yeah, Joe might be a cruiserweight. You don't think that, because I thought Rocky was like 185, 190.
Yeah, it was 187. I think 185 or 187 when he won the title. His last fight was 200 with Archie Moore.
Could you imagine?
Okay,
Joe
so
Lewis
he could have been cruiserweight. Yeah.
Alexander Usyk. What a great fight that would be, or even Ali against Usyk. That would be a great fight.
Well, don't forget, Ali fought 15 rounds. Marciano fought 15 rounds. It's a different game when you go 15.
Oh, yeah, because the championship rounds was really 13, 14, and 15 back in the day.
Do you both, was it the 80s they got rid of the 50 rounds, the early 80s or the late 80s? They got rid of
yeah. It was, wasn't it the Sugar Ray fight?
Well,
the Sugar Ray Hagler fight was the first 12 rounder?
I think so. And the thumbless gloves, they used thumbless gloves too.
And they made the ring smaller as well, didn't they?
Probably.
What for? I don't know. Sugar Ray might have wanted the ring bigger.
Yeah. I think it was.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the dude ain't fight in 3 years prior to that Hagler fight, and only fought one time in 5 years. Really. So,
but the fact that he could do that, come back and still beat a guy who hardly ever lost.
And even if you think that Hagler won, like a lot of people believe, right? Who you got? Who you think won, Tom? Hagler or Leonard?
It was a close fight. I'm going to give you that. I think, I had it scored for Hagler, but there were definitely rounds where Sugar Ray looked great. But
yeah, especially in the beginning when Hagler came out orthodox.
That was
anyway
a stupid move for him to do that.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that.
Imagine what a Sugar Ray Leonard would have done to Floyd Mayweather. Seriously, in his
I don't know.
I don't know, man. Floyd got this. Floyd got this way of being that he could have been probably successful at any time.
Yeah.
Against any of the greats.
The only person I think would have whooped his ass would be the real Sugar Ray Robinson.
Sugar Ray Robinson might have gave him some trouble.
Seriously, I believe that. Right, we'll move on to our next thing, which is who wins out of Joyce and Zhang.
Well, just as an aside here, you want to hear what the weight is?
200.
So, yeah.
Joe Joyce weighs 256 and Zhang weighs 278.
Damn.
Yeah, these are guys. And Zhang is, here's the way I see it. Zhang, if he could, Joyce is going to be Joyce and come in, and Zhang can touch him up the first early rounds and bust him up. He's got a chance. But if he doesn't, down the line, I think Zhang is going to be
so, yeah, Joyce late stoppage.
But he's going to put some power on his chin. He's also.
So I'm going to tell you how I see it.
Yeah.
Zhang is 39 years old. He's never really fought anyone apart from Hrgovic, and he barely lost it. But Hrgovic wasn't that experienced, and also he got knocked down by Jerry Forrest, who Jerry Forrest makes it hard for any fight, as we see. But I do believe what I think will happen is Joyce and him will be throwing punches. Joyce will overpower him because I don't think Zhang has the stamina to go more than 5 rounds. Once it
Oh, I
gets to
agree.
50 round, Joyce will break it and he'll stop it. He's
I
gonna have
agree with you.
too much pressure.
I
He hits
agree
a
with
lot.
that. The only what if is if Joyce walks into one of his big punches, 278, he can punch.
Yeah,
And that may hurt him. We'll have
he
to
can
see.
punch, but his stamina, he's got shit stamina. He's slow as fuck. He's really slow. Joyce, no, I think Joyce will box smart in this. Couple of rounds, he may keep it on the outside. Then in the third, fourth round, he'll start leading some heavy level, in the third or fourth round. The first few rounds will keep it tight.
What is this his heaviest weight, Zane?
I don't know.
278, yeah.
It doesn't say if it's his heaviest weight or not.
Joyce has lost 15 pounds for this fight. Has lost 15 pounds for this fight.
Well, he's training his ass off.
Oh, Joyce gonna jab his ass
Joyce has
off.
got too much endurance for him. Zhang is so slow; he's never really beaten anybody. If you're going to struggle with Jerry Forrest, what the hell is Joe Joyce going to do to him? Joe Joyce would even beat Hergovich, at this current moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, 278 is matching his heaviest he's ever been in. He was 277 for Hergovich.
Yeah. Okay. So I believe that he's too slow and old now to really do anything damage to Joyce. He's just going to get caught up and beaten up,
Well,
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be able to move out of Joyce's shots.
No,
Well,
exactly.
it's
And
the first.
I have to say this. I think Joseph Parker is a better fighter than Zhang,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and he beat him on points. All these guys, even Carlos Takam is tougher than him. All these guys he's beaten are all tougher guys. I think.
What southpaws has Joyce faced in his career?
Is Brian Jennings at one?
Is Brian Jennings a southpaw?
I think Kalanzi was. Kalanzi was a southpaw.
I didn't think he was a southpaw.
I'm not really sure. I don't think he's fought in it.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe he hasn't fought any.
That's interesting. Yeah, so that's the only variables that I see is the power and the southpaw stance with him.
Yeah, I think Joyce will walk forward and Zhang won't know what hits him. Zhang will throw his shots, but Joyce will just overpower him, smash him to pieces, and it'll be brutal. He'll be on the floor, blood dripping from his nose, and he'll be clean out. I don't see any other win. If Zhang does win, then he'll deserve it, but I just don't see it.
Well, Hergovich is a heavy-handed guy, and he didn't get knocked out.
He is, yeah. But he's still a novice. Not a novice. He's still an emerging prospect, whereas Joyce is a bit more polished. I think Hergovich is getting better all the time. That's the only difference.
And you were right about Forrest. He was a southpaw, and it was a draw majority decision.
Yeah.
He lost.
But you could say that Jerry Forrest has been very unlucky in his career with the decisions that have gone against him. Michael Hunter, and he's done this to top guys like Michael Hunter and Zhang,
Well, I think the first 3 rounds are going to decide the fight, and then if it goes past that, then he's going to lose. Joyce will take him down.
Yeah. I don't understand why Joyce chose this kind of guy. I would have thought he'd just choose a normal run-of-the-mill fight, title defense.
Well, Joyce is only 15-0, in his career.
Maybe he fighting Zhang because he's a southpaw, because he's gonna fight Usyk right after because he's a southpaw.
Well,
he might be prepping himself for a southpaw.
But if you've got a title shot, you don't fight people like Zhang. You fight people who are non-hitters. Fight a guy who's not got a hard punch. It's too much to risk, too much on the line.
Yeah, but it's a high-profile fight. It's going to be a good fight.
But Joyce could get old overnight. We've seen it happen to plenty of heavyweights,
That's true.
Yeah, he can, but he's fighting somebody that's old too, so hopefully. So,
dearie me.
I mean, he's turned pro in 2017. I think what hurt him more was the outbreak of COVID. than anything else because his career kind of stalled like around 2020.
What, Joe Joyce?
Yeah, because he had a lot more fights. He was coming up fast. He fought in 2018. He fought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times.
In what, 3 years?
2018. I mean, 2017, and then twice in whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
In
When Joyce was coming
3
up,
and
I
19, and
remember
then
watching and I thought to myself, he's going to do something in this division. I always knew he was.
yeah,
Because
but
he had such Olympic pedigree. I mean, he fought a guy who was a former British champion in his first fight, won the Commonwealth belt in his like the third fight, you know, and then won a European belt in only his 11th fight, you know, or 9th fight. Or something.
well, COVID definitely slowed him down because when you hit 220 here, he only fought twice in 220, once in 21, twice in 22.
You know, that Parker performance he put on was fantastic.
Yeah,
He beat the shit out of him. Oh, it was amazing.
and he was getting,
Yeah, that was a good one.
but he kept coming.
Yeah, and it was a good name.
Yeah, for sure.
Not like
And Samoans,
Parker was a has been, an old guy. Parker was still in his prime.
Right.
Yeah. Okay,
Well,
we'll move on.
I'm going to
Bam
enjoy.
Rodriguez wins the WBO flyweight title.
Yeah, and got a broken jaw in the process.
Yeah.
Wow.
You knew that, right?
No, I actually didn't see the fight. Did you see it?
I did. And the guy was competitive, but Rodriguez was a little tentative after going into the middle rounds. He said he broke his jaw in the 4th round, but he stayed in there and he kept trying to get after him. But the guy moved a lot. I mean, and counterpunched to the body a lot. So fortunately, the fight wasn't stopped. But you know, he won a justified decision.
Okay. He needs to heal then. He got to heal that jaw up.
Yeah, that'll be at least 8 months.
Yeah, so. And that was for the WBO title?
Yep, he won.
Yeah.
So that's the 3rd title now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
dropped down in weight.
Yeah, he dropped down. And he looked big at this weight, to be honest with you. He looked big. But he wants to stay here for the time being.
Okay, in other news on this thing, Tapelez, or whatever his name is, beats Akhmadaliev. I can't pronounce it.
Akhmadaliev.
Who's Pakistani guy. Pretty good fight.
Yeah, he held 2 titles, and he lost them in this fight. Did you see this one, Spencer?
Nah, I've seen the news and I was like, oh wow. I guess they won't be trying to have an undisputed fight after the underweight fight because
it's controversial. His camp is protesting the decision, which I don't think they will have any success with. But Tapelez was keeping him on the end of the jab of the first 4 rounds or so. But then Akhmadaliev started scoring, bigger shots, more shots. And it looked like one judge had him 118 to 110 ahead, and the other 2 gave it like 115-13 to Tapelez. And to be honest, I think Akhmadaliev has a case because he wasn't really doing much of anything, Tapelez, except throwing a lot of jabs, and a lot of them were.
What weight is this again? Super featherweight or what? Or no?
Super bantamweight.
Super bantamweight, yeah.
I believe he will get belts back. He'll win more belts. Again, he's a good fighter.
They might order a rematch.
Yeah, but he'd have to have a little bit different strategy with this guy next time. He's going to have to cut the ring off more and slow him down in the body. But he was running into a lot of jabs, and I think it was the movement and the speed was throwing him a little bit. So it is what it is. You got to take the loss with the wins, and then come back and win the belts back.
Yep.
That's the way you do it. You don't cry over it.
Nope. Well,
what's next?
Tapelez got.
What? I'm sorry. Say it.
I was saying Tapelez got his big shot, his claim in the record books now.
Yeah. Well, he's got his name there with 2 belts, and where it goes from here, we'll see.
Yeah. Berlanga's fighting Quigley.
Right. That should be interesting.
Yeah, man. Kalnaki's on that card. Adam Kalnaki. And I guess he ain't a PBC fighter no more. Kalnaki.
After
No,
those two
no.
losses, it wouldn't be. I wish he
But
would.
who's he going to fight though? He's had three. He's lost 3 fights in a row. It's going to have to be someone easy.
Well, I don't think he knows any other way to fight. You know,
Yeah, he ain't gonna.
because once he goes out there, he tries to overwhelm you, and then he gets tired, and then the other guy will take him and fight.
Yeah, he I remember they was trying to talk about him and Andy Ruiz before Andy Ruiz fought AJ.
Oh God, that would have been bad. That would have been real bad. Who's this guy, Mahdi? I don't know him that well.
He's fighting a guy called Joe Cusimano. So this Joe Cusimano guy is a guy he should knock out quite easily.
Who? What weight is this?
Wait a minute. His name is Mahdi. It's not Cusimano.
I was talking about Kanaki. It's coming back opponent.
Yeah. Oh, Cusimano, right. I got them confused. That's somebody else, yeah. Well, it probably Kawaki will win this one. Joe Cusimano. I don't know about him. Do you know him?
Nah, that's probably like you said, a comeback easy win fight.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. So, his name is Joe, I think, right? Joe Cusimano?
Okay, Marty from Staten Island.
Yeah, Joe Cusimano, here he is. I got him. He's from New York, I'm pretty sure. Here he is, boxing stats.
Okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to. New York is Adam Kalnaki gonna bring the Polish population out.
He has 3 losses, 19 wins.
But the Polish fans don't care. They still gonna come support their guy.
Yeah. So, and so I guess this is a crossroads fight for both of them, considering the records, right?
Yeah.
So whoever wins this will have a chance at least being a gatekeeper or fighting another contender. Because he's dropped in the rankings, I'm sure.
Kalnaki, yeah, he probably not even in nobody's like he can't be a challenger in nobody's top 15 right now.
Yeah, and on this card you were talking about Quigley and Andrade KO Quigley, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so and who's Quigley fighting here?
Berlanga.
Berlanga, well, it's strong puncher. But again, Berlanga doesn't do well against good boxers.
Yeah, so we're gonna see.
We'll see. It's always a test with Berlanga. I think there's too much ego with him and too much relying on his power.
Yeah, he gotta set up his power.
Yes, but we know about that, right?
Yeah.
It's a whole other. That's discipline.
Yeah.
Mental discipline.
Yeah, he gotta make. Is his father his trainer?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
He's gonna have to get some seasoned vets to train him.
Yep, exactly. And they were talking about that for a while ago, but
Top Rank had dropped him, and he moved with Golden Boy, I think.
Well, Golden Boy will take care of him, but he has a new trainer now. He had Andre Rozier since 2019. He had.
Okay. I mean, I like Andre because especially the stuff he did with Daniel Jacobs, but I mean, yeah, he Devonchenko was his boxer. Devonchenko was pretty good, but yeah.
Now,
you know what? Now listen, wait a minute. Now that you said that, Rozier been his trainer since 19. Is it possible that Rozier's got him really boxing now, and that's the reason why we don't. He's not doing well, but he's
But
not relying. He's not, you know, doing the not able to get the knockouts because he's going the rounds or something in
now,
the way Rozier is training him or something.
well, let me catch you up to date here. He's back with Mark Ferriato now.
Okay. For this is his first fight back with him, or he was back with him last fight?
He was, you know, he was with before, but he's back with the older guy now. So I
Okay.
don't know if that's going to be good or bad or what. You know, we'll have to see.
Okay,
All right.
I think we're about finished, guys. I've got one more thing to talk about. Do you guys remember this? I'll just turn the camera on.
You must remember this. Hey, look at you.
What am I looking at?
It's blurry. Could you tell us what it is?
George Foreman being pushed. George Foreman being pushed by Teddy Atlas.
Oh, pushed in. You mean when he won the title?
Yeah, before in the press conference.
Oh, before that. Well, Teddy Atlas is a character. What can I say?
I want to talk about the two of the boxing films that have come out recently. Have you guys seen Creed 3 yet?
Not yet. But
Have
I
you
know.
seen it yet, Spencer?
No, I might buy it on Amazon this weekend because it's on Amazon.
Now, do you know that they killed Rocky in that film, and Stallone is really
No, they
upset
haven't. No,
because he sold them the rights to Rocky, so now he can't make another Rocky film.
Oh, wow. Who sold the rights?
Well, he sold it to the people that were making Creed, the producers.
When did he do that?
When he made,
Well, I thought he sold it to Irwin Winkler years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know who. No, he said in an interview recently. I heard that he sold something so the rights to the film,
An idiot.
and that he can't make another Rocky film because of that. And he's really angry about it.
I mean, I've seen Creed 3 and I'm not that impressed with it. It's done well, but how it feels to me is they've obviously, in the 70s, we had the white champion in Rocky. Now we've moved with the way society's moved, the way it's changed. It's like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but Apollo Creed kicked his ass in Rocky 3, and they never told you about it until Creed.
In real life.
Well, they had it out a little bit in the ring, but that's okay. You know, that was good for the film. But they were.
I just think the whole Rocky series now, I mean, it's older than what I bloody am. It's older, nearly as old as what Spencer is, if not a little bit older.
Why would Stallone? What would Stallone want to do with the Rocky character still?
I don't know. You know, I mean, when Stallone's imagination and his writing ability, who the hell knows?
What they could do is do a young Rocky. You know, take it back to the 50s, 60s, you know, when he's really young. Before
You
he
mean the
becomes
beginning of his career when Mickey wouldn't train him?
Yeah. And just do it with a new person, bring back Rocky. They could even make Rocky again. They could do it with a different
Oh
person.
no, they can't make Rocky again.
Rocky 1 was a classic.
That's like trying to do the Godfather over again.
And that's why
somebody will do it. It's like nobody's done Enter the Dragon again because no one's got the guts to touch it because no one can ever produce that kind of good shit again. You know.
Well, they weren't really special effects in those films.
No, there weren't. But on Enter the Dragon, it was all paper sets. It was all done to the. I mean, Bruce Lee choreographed the whole shit the same as what Stallone did. But in Creed 3, the storyline of it is just like, oh, we've seen this before. It's like it's believable. The guy who plays the baddie in it is really believable. He's a good actor, but he's just been done for domestic violence. So,
well, it was good for his acting role. What can you say? Whatever.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
And the George Foreman film. When does this come out? The George, because I believe it's soon.
I don't know.
At the end of the month.
Now that's an interesting story.
It is, but is it based from when he fought Ali, or does it go straight into when he's 45?
No, from the beginning. from the beginning.
From the beginning.
It goes. How long is this damn movie?
I don't know. They're going to have to do a little bit of history before they put him in the ring with Ali and build him up.
Do you know what they should have done? Just made 2 separate movies. Have the first one where he's a kid to when he fought Ali, then he loses to Ali. Then they make the second film 10 years later when he actually came back in his late 30s.
It wouldn't be as interesting because you're ending off with him as a loser.
But no, you end the first film with him as a loser. Then you say such and such. Then you make a second film a year later.
Nah, he got to have the redemption arc. The redemption arc got to be in the same movie.
And the change in personality.
Yeah, but it's going to be
that got to be
4 or 5 hour movie.
That got to be in the thing. I mean, they're gonna have to do it. You could do it in 2 hours, 2.5.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be very good if they did it as like.
I mean, listen, if it's a good movie and it's an exciting movie, 2.5 hours go by quick.
Yeah, but
like a lot of the award-winning movies is 3 hours long.
Yeah, it's going to have to be.
Well, we could wish, but Hollywood doesn't always make our wishes.
What I like about George Foreman's story about him is that he loses to a legend, then he comes back 10 years later and he shows up the other people. You know, that's what's amazing about it. A guy who did what he did shouldn't have been able to do what he did.
After he lost, he came back and fought 5 fighters in the same night. And then he fought Jimmy Ellis, and that's spiritual experience. Oh, and he had Ron Lyle, which was a hell of a fight.
Didn't Ron Lyle beat him in that?
No, that was such an exciting fight. I remember watching that with my father. We were like, wow. You know,
Who was his last? What was his last fight before the break?
Jimmy Ellis beat him.
Jimmy Ellis beat him, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and he said he saw the blood on his hands and his body, and he looked down and he had a vision of Jesus, and that's when he decided to become a preacher.
Do you know what makes me laugh in all this? He only came back because he ran out of money.
What he
ran out of money.
Yeah, to keep his church going.
Yeah. The whole thing that makes me laugh about his story, I've read the book about his life, is the way he started his life, then he ends up doing this, and then he names all his sons George. Jesus. Then he...
Yeah, but I think he was a better fighter in his second generation.
Oh, he was, yeah.
He was much more
controlled
with his anger.
But the original version of him, people were scared of him. The second version, people weren't scared of him. That was...
No, they were afraid of his power. I mean, when he fought Holyfield, even though he lost, I thought he was going to break Holyfield's rib cage.
Yeah. But all we saw when he fought Malcolm was an old man. We didn't see the George Foreman before. We saw a more improved fight. What do you think would have happened if Foreman had continued boxing and never retired for 10 years?
He would have kept because of his mindset.
So do you think he would have just been a journeyman if he continued?
He would have just
Ernie Shavers.
Ernie Shavers. He would have he would have ended up like that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think. I think his mentality. He had an anger issue. He would get his adrenaline would go, and it would eat up his stamina. And he needed that break. I think.
I remember reading about it in the paper when I was 12 years old. If I remember reading about this fight, and I'm thinking, who is this fat old man who's come back? Well, so I just laughed because I didn't know the history of him. And when I saw, probably in the late 90s, when I started to know who he properly was, and I saw how good he was in his prime, and that he came back and won the top.
I followed his comeback, and he fought his way back into shape.
He did, yeah.
He had like 20 fights. Little by little, and he just kept winning until people were going, oh my God, he's got like 18 knockouts in a row.
But he fought all people that were building him up, building up his record, getting his confidence back. He didn't start from the bottom, didn't he? You've got to respect that.
He did it correctly. Anyway, guys, I think we're done.
We're going to go.
All righty then.
See you guys next week.
Good show. Thanks, Nathan.